Hey guys, welcome. Welcome guys, thank you all for coming. Hey, look, May. How you guys doing? I'm glad you guys are here. Honestly, guys, I really need to clear some things up here because I do not think that people are understanding what's really going on with their twin flame connection. They don't really understand what a twin flame connection is. Very good, Christine. Sonia, I'm a bit pissed off, honestly. Honestly, I'm a bit pissed off right now. I don't know if you guys have seen my posts that I wrote just a little bit earlier than now. That live that where there was a commenter who was talking about abuse and that this person is their twin flame. And I am letting you guys know that if this person is abusing you, then this person is not your twin flame. Confirmation. What more do you want? Yes. Somebody left a comment on that video saying that I had no right to tell that person that that person is not their twin flame. And the reason is because that person should figure it out for themselves whether they're a twin flame or not. God sent me here to talk to you guys, to help you guys, to show you guys what true love is, to help you to figure it out for yourself. Thank you so much, Fluffy World. He did not come here. He did not send me here so I could come and watch somebody being abused and then I'm going to say I'm going to let them figure it out for themselves. If God wanted you to figure this thing out for yourself, he would not have sent me here. The twin flame journey is very hard. And it can be mixed up with just any regular old relationship. Love you too, Fluffy. And thank you for the support. When you're going through a relationship, guys, and I need everybody to listen. In a regular relationship, most likely it's going to be a karmic relationship. Not everybody is a twin flame, so not everybody's road is going to lead to a twin flame communication. A twin flame connection, I should say. Throughout our lives, we are going through relationships and relationships. Those are karmic relationships that teach us what we shouldn't accept in life. That's preparing us for unconditional love. Whether that be a soulmate that's going to love you like you should be loved forever, or whether that's going to be your twin flame. When you are about to meet your twin flame, things are going to start to change for you. Most likely you're in a relationship, or you're about to leave the relationship, or you have just left the relationship. And nobody picks up and leave a relationship because it's good. Or because things are superb, things are awesome. No way, no how. It has to be because things are not working out. And twin flames, when they meet, they never stay long together. Even if you guys are single when you meet, and then you decide to start a relationship, because that's the norm. You meet someone you fall in love with, then you start a relationship. That's the norm. So even if you do that as twin flames, and you're not even going to know your twin flames when you start that connection, it's not going to last long. Because the magnetic attraction between you two is just going to be too powerful, and you're going to be repelling each other because none of you are healed, so your souls do not want to be together. So your souls will be repelling each other. You'll be frustrated in the connection. You maybe just find yourself wanting to go, wanting to leave. I don't know why I want to be here. You'll just be frustrated, confused. And you may break up. And then you come back together. You break up, you come back together. Those who even sometimes they get married, they may separate. They may break up because the bond is too strong. The magnetic attraction is too strong. Your souls are not healed, so your souls will be pushing you apart. And you're not going to know why. Because you're going to be so in love. But why am I so frustrated with this person? You don't even know. But that's because you both need to heal. So when you first meet your person as a twin flame, you're never going to be long enough. You're never going to be together long enough to be years in a relationship, and then all of a sudden the person turns abusive and then the person left you. That's not the way it works. Sometimes when you meet, one of you may be in a relationship, one of you may be on your way out of a relationship, or both of you are single. But you're never going to stay together for long. Never. You're welcome. When you have met your divine counterpart and you're in a karmic relationship, or when you're about to meet your counterpart and you're in a relationship, that relationship is going to start to fall apart. That relationship is going to seem like it doesn't matter anymore. You're going to want to get out. You're going to want to leave. And if you're in a relationship, because your soul knows when you're about to meet your partner, so it gets excited. You start to feel the love. And then you are with this person, and then you feel the love. And then you're going to say, oh, this person that I'm with, this is my twin flame. Because as soon as you start to feel differently, you're going to want to do some research and find out what's going on with you, what's happening. And when you find that information, then you are going to take that information and associate it with the person that you're with, because you're with that person. Because you were in love with that person. That person was in love with you at one point. But that's not the person. That's not the person. You are not in a relationship with this person for years, and then all of a sudden they change and start to move away from you. No. When you start to get those feelings, it's either because you're about to meet your twin flame, or you have already met your twin flame. So when you're in a relationship and this person is abusing you, belittling you, telling you you're no good, you will never be anything in life. If it's not for them, you wouldn't be where you are. Making you feel like shit practically. that person is not your twin flame. And that person that left that comment said I had no right to tell that person that that person was not their twin flame. But I'm going to tell you something. My God sent me here to enlighten you, or else I would not be sitting in this chair. He sent me here to enlighten you because, as I said, for far too long, people are taking their abusive relationships and they're associating it with twin flames. And a twin flame relationship is not physically abusive nor verbally abusive. Everybody gets angry. Everybody says things. Yes, but that's not abuse. Abuse is something that occurs over and over and over and over. And usually you're sitting there and you're accepting this abuse over and over and over and over. And that's when your twin flame steps in, because it's time for you to stop the abuse. It's time for you to stop the abuse. 1, 2, 3. Many of us, the relationships that we have been in, they were abusive, verbally, physically. We could never find somebody who loves us. We could never have found somebody who meant the same to us, like the love that we are giving to them. And our hearts were tired. And God looked and God saw that it was time for you to stop going through pain. And He sent your twin flame to wake you up. God is not going to sit there and watch you go through hurt and pain and tell you that that's the person that you should be with. Our twin flames have gone through narcissistic relationships, been with narcissistic partners, parents, friends, family members. Sure, they may act that way, but they will never take it out on you. They may get angry. They may get frustrated. They may tell you, leave me alone. They may say, I can't be around you right now. I need some space. They may say, we will never be together. But it's not to hurt you. It's more to protect themselves and to protect you. Because they know the lives that they have lived. They know where they're coming from. They know the hurt that they have faced, and they do not want to pass it on to you. You will know when somebody is becoming abusive. If you're in an argument with someone, if they grab you and shake you, that's abuse. So you know what you're supposed to do. Make sure it doesn't happen again. Make sure it doesn't happen again. And even if this person is your twin flame and they may grab you and shake you, you make sure that it's never happening again. And it's not that you're going to fight back. It's that you're going to leave that situation. You're going to walk away from that situation. Because once you start something, and once you allow it, and once someone keeps repeating it, then it's become a permanent practice. You cannot let love blind you, people. You cannot let love blind you that you're being abused. And because you so want to say that you're a twin flame, that you ignore the abuse and say, oh, she loves me. Oh, he loves me. That's not how love works. That's not. Some people say that they are twin flames. And oh, I've been in twin flame union for years. But what have you gone through for you to say that you're a twin flame? Oh, I met this guy or this girl and we were so in love, and oh my God, we had some breakups and we had arguments, but we are back together and we've been living together for years. That's not what a twin flame relationship is about. What about the healing? What about the elevation? What about you changing as a person? What about you not looking at things that you used to look at the same way again? What about you changing your mind on things that you used to look at and look at it in a different way? But now you're seeing it differently, whatever it is. What about the self-growth? A twin flame journey is a spiritual journey, which means it includes God. 222. Which means it includes God. And if you're going to be doing ungodly things, saying ungodly things, portraying ungodly things, and say, oh, I'm a twin flame. Wow. Wow, I never knew this. I'm so in love with this person. I never knew this person was my twin flame. That's not what a twin flame is. Can you tell me that you've gone through the same things that I've gone through, that I am still going through? How long did it take you to get back into union with no help? With no trying to figure out anything? But somebody just falling in your lap that you're in love with, and you had a few breakups and you're back together and you say you're a twin flame. I would never wish a twin flame journey on anybody. I would never. This journey is not for the faint of heart. This journey is not for the faint of heart. You can't be weak in spirit and be on a twin flame journey. We are the strongest. We are the strongest of the strong. If I can say that, I don't know. That's why we are here. That's why we're here. And we volunteered for this. And if that's the way it worked out, like how they are saying, before we were born, we agreed with God that that's what we're going to do you think that God is going to say, okay, you're going to kick the shit out of this woman or the shit out of this man, and then you're going to come back together in love? You think God is going to say that? You think God is going to accept that? You think God would have agreed to something like that? God saw that we were abusing ourselves, and he had to send his son here for us to see the difference, for us to start loving ourselves. So why would he send us here as healers to come and get abused? I don't know, and I cannot see it. I cannot see how God is a God of love. And he's going to want you to get abused before your eyes are open. Why do you think that those relationships never last? Because you're not meant to stay in an abusive relationship. The person, as the person commented and said, we all have a choice. And yes, we all have a choice. And that's why some of us get hurt. Because we choose to stay in an abusive relationship. Because we are so blinded by love. And what hurt me the most is that this person is going to say that I should let them figure it out for themselves. How in the world am I going to be God's servant, somebody who is teaching love, self-love, to open your eyes, see what true love is, to praise God, to worship God, and thank God for your present moment. And I'm going to sit by and say, okay, you're being abused. But you got to figure it out yourself, because I don't have the right to tell you that you're not in a twin flame relationship. I would be a very good guide. That would be awesome of me. That's crazy. And if you are going to say that you're a twin flame and you're in union, then you should understand what unconditional love is. And you should not and never be telling anybody who is going through abuse, to let them figure it out for themselves. That brought me back to that girl that lost her life. She was a YouTuber. Nappy something. Nap Queen. I even did we had made a video in memory of her. It broke my heart. Because she was involved with somebody who was abusive. She spoke about it. But after years, she thought the person had changed. And she let the person back into her life, knowing that she was abused before. And that person ended up taking her life. This person, she didn't tell most of her family members what that person was doing to her. And I'm sure it hurt the family members to know that that's what was going on. These people are not meant to stay in your lives. They are there to teach you a lesson, and the lesson is for you to learn that they do not belong in your life. They do not belong in your life. You will know the difference between love. Because when somebody says it to you, you'll feel it for days on end. Not just the moment when they said it. And you'll see it in their actions too. You'll see it in their actions. When you're an adult and somebody is belittling you over and over, telling you you're no good for nothing, you can't do anything, you can't do anything right, you will never become anybody. If it wasn't for me, I wouldn't be here. But yet still they want you in their presence. Now you tell me, is that love, or are they trying to manipulate you so you never leave their side? For, thank you. For all of you who've been in situations like this, I commend you for getting out. And whichever voice that spoke to you and told you to get out, that that's not love, and you listened, I commend you. Because if you had sat back and waited on it to work itself out, or for you to just truly just wait and let's figure it out, maybe some of us wouldn't be here today. I don't know how much I can say it, but twin flames are not abusive. And as I said in my post, this is how much God is guiding me. And this is how much I know that God is standing by me when I make my statements. Because as soon as I responded to that person's comment, I came out of the comments. And that video that I posted on the post that I made, that video that I posted was at the top of my videos. And YouTube usually suggests videos based on what you are searching for, what you are looking up. I was not looking up anything in regards to abuse, nothing. I was talking about it, but in the comments, I wasn't searching, I wasn't looking. But as soon as I made that comment, God put that video there. And you can check the post, guys. The girl is in her hospital bed, almost died because she had a boyfriend who was abusive. It wasn't a twin flame situation, but just to show you that what I'm saying is absolutely true and absolutely right. God made that video come there so I could share it. Once you allow someone to abuse you the first time and then you allow it to happen the second time, it is going to be a practice. They are going to continue to abuse you until they probably kill you. And this goes for men too, because there are women out there who are abusive. And men, if you're being abused by women, take your evidence. Make your videos, take your photos, document everything, record videos, record voice notes, and you take your evidence to the police. And if those police laugh at you like they're used to doing, because they're going to say a man is going to let a woman abuse them, then you take it further. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Nobody should be abused. Yeah, my mama can kick my ass because we don't listen as children. Honestly, I tell you, I don't listen. I don't listen. So my mama can kick my ass all she wants because she's trying to make me see what to accept, what not to accept, what to do, what not to do. And when I do what I'm not supposed to do and she kicks my ass, I'm going to say, okay, mommy, I'm not going to do it again. But when you have a big old 20-odd, 30-odd, 40-odd, 50-odd-year-old man or woman subjecting themselves to abuse, that's not right. That's not right. 92 persons, 29 likes. reflection. Yeah, that's discipline. That's discipline for real. Instill in you what's right from what's wrong. They don't mean you harm. They just want you to see what's right from what's wrong. And if you don't listen, they go kick your ass. Because they don't want you to get hurt when you're older. Yeah. And when you're psychologically abused, Nilda, that's where the narcissists come in. They abuse you psychologically, so you feel like nothing. So you're always in their presence, so you think that they are your crutch and you should always be holding on to them. They are the ones who make you feel like if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be anybody. And that's why when they also associate the word narcissist with divine masculines, that hurt me also. Because the divine masculines, they're nowhere near narcissists. And the only thing that I would see a divine masculine do that they would say it's a narcissistic behavior is trying to manipulate you into being with them, because maybe at first some of them the only thing they wanted was sex or whatever. So they try to manipulate you just to get sex. But every man does it, not just the M. So if you're gonna throw around the word narcissist, then you gotta throw it at every man, because every man does it. So this is gonna come from somebody who wants to make the twin flame connection seem like it's the worst thing ever. Because we are being abused physically, mentally, emotionally. But that's not right. That's from someone's perception. And you also had readers who were actually saying that the DMs are narcissists. And that's why sometimes if you do not have experience on something, you're not supposed to speak on it. I have never been physically abused in a relationship, but I was emotionally abused, mentally abused. But I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. Because the thousands of tears that I cried made me see that that's not love. Made me see that that's not love. And when I feel like I'm nobody because this person is going to tell me things to make me feel like I'm not good enough, the feeling that I had, I know that that feeling was not love. And when I met my masculine, then I really saw that I was not supposed to be in that relationship that I was in, because this was love. This is love. Your divine masculines may manipulate you because, one, they are not awakened. They don't know what they're doing. And they had to do that for the process to begin. For you to start to look into yourself and realize that I don't want this. This I don't need in my life. Think about it. If when you and your masculine met, or if you're a masculine, when you and your feminine met, if you had jumped into a relationship and gotten married and started a life, wouldn't you still have those negative emotions that you went through in past relationships buried deep down inside of you? Wouldn't you still have them buried there? And wouldn't you think that you would still be looking at your masculine like, I wonder if he's gonna cheat on me. I wonder if he's gonna abuse me. You would still have those in the back of your mind because you have not worked through those emotions. You have not cleared those wounds. And that's why we are struggling. That's why we are fighting. That's why we are going through such a hard time. Because what you learn becomes permanent. And when something is permanent, it's hard to erase. You try putting a permanent marker on the wall. And tell me how easy it is for you to remove that permanent marker. You put a tattoo on your skin. And you tell me how easy it is for that permanent tattoo to come out of your skin. When something is permanent, it's hard to erase, it's hard to remove. So it's gonna take days, hours, a long journey for us to heal those wounds. You're welcome, One Love. It's gonna take a long time for us to work through those wounds. And in order to start to work on those wounds, camp, we have to let go. We have to let go of the situation because it's hurting us. Because it's making us feel like we felt when we were in those karmic relationships. And you gotta take a stand. And you gotta say, I deserve love. Since I met you, I know what love is. I know what love is because you showed it to me. You showed it to me. And I want that love back. And the only way for that person to give you that love again is for you to heal that person. And you're not going to heal the person by telling the person what to do. As I said, again, these are adults. And they've already learned their ways. And it's going to be hard for you to break them out of their ways. So how do you do it? You learn, you do it through God. You do it spiritually. And that's why we are connected spiritually. And that's why we can connect using telepathy. Whatever the word is, I don't care. You know? That's why we are able to connect like that. Because that's the only way to heal them. That's the only way to heal your divine masculine. You have your divine masculine chasing around the place looking for love, looking for the person that's right for them when you are there under their nose. And the only thing you can think about is, oh my God, he's gone with that person. He's over there with that person. He's effing everybody in the whole community. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Because clearly you can't make them see what true love is. So how are you going to do it? You got to let them feel it. You're going to let them feel it. And the way they feel it is by you loving yourself. It's by you loving yourself. This person keeps running away from you. Yes, Mia, stand in your power. What are you going to do? Stand in your power. I am the Empress. I am the Queen of Cups. I know what love is. And I'm going to show you what love is by giving it to myself. I am not going to let you run around like you're crazy. Because number one, you are me, and I want to see the best for myself. And when I know that that person is me, and he's been abused by somebody, he's been hurting by somebody, I'm not going to look at him and tell him that he deserves it because you should have stayed with me. No. I'm going to look at myself and I'm going to say, oh my God, how am I going to heal myself so this person realizes what true love is and move away from the situation? And that's how you work on yourself. And understand this, when you're working on yourself, you're working on your divine masculine. And I do not want you guys to sit there and say, God will bring this together when he wants to. It doesn't work like that. God does not work for you unless you're putting in the work. God does not work for you unless you ask him for help. You've got to show God that you deserve what he has planned for you, what he puts down for you. You've got to show him that you deserve it. When you are watching the Bible stories, all those servants of God, when God sends them out on missions, when God is performing a miracle, those servants had to do something for God to work. With Moses, Moses had to be raising his staff. Moses had to be saying, God, help. Moses had to be saying, show us the way. Moses had to be saying, help us for God to work. Because God wants you to see that whenever you call upon his name, he will be there for you. He will be guiding you. He will be protecting you. He will be covering you with his blood, with his love. This is a spiritual journey, people, and you cannot finish this journey without God in the midst. A lot of us, we are running from the spirituality of this journey, and we are just thinking about the romance. The romance, how much you love this person, how much you want to be with this person. But how are you going to get that love back if you do not change spiritually? 44 minutes. We're on the right path. We're on the right path as twin flames. But we cannot leave God out of it. We cannot leave God out of it. Jesus himself had to beg God for help, had to beg God for strength so he could endure his path, his journey. Even when Jesus said, God, take this cup away from me, God did not listen because he's trying to shortcut. Because he's trying to shortcut. No, you got to finish it. You got to finish the road. You got to finish the journey. You got to learn all that you have to learn. You got to figure things out for yourself. And abuse is not one of them. Yeah, think about what God endured daily. Jesus. All that he was enduring was abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse from others around him. Now, if God wanted you to endure physical abuse and emotional abuse, would he have come to stop it? I don't think so. If it was okay, do you think that God would be upset? Do you think that God would have tried to change those people through sending his son here? I don't think so. God has his servants and his teachers, and I believe that I'm one of them. Because as I said all the time, I never sent myself here. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to come here. I didn't want to come here. But this book, the knowledge that God is giving me, what I say to you, thank you. I believe it's coming from God. We just need to listen, and we just need to realize and figure out what true love is. Sometimes we hear, but we are not listening. We hear words, we hear what others have to say, but it goes through the other ear. And we are not paying attention. Divine masculines are not abusive in any way or form. And most of the time we only think that they're abusive because what they do, it hurt our feelings and we start to cry. And then we say they hurt us. But they're not intentionally hurting us. What they're doing is for us to see what we should get rid of from our lives. What's not good for us. And I'll say it again, the divine masculines are doing their job in bringing up the wounds so you can heal them. Now it's time for us to heal our wounds so the masculines can be free. This journey is about the divine masculines breaking free from entrapment. Because we already have love within us, divine feminines. You don't see that. When you met the divine masculine, they put unconditional love within us. That was their job. And we feel that unconditional love every single day because we met them. But they are still stuck in their turmoil. They're still stuck in their karmic relationship. They're still stuck in a job that they don't want to be at. They're still stuck in a house that they don't want to be at. They're still enduring that hurt and pain from their karmics. They're still going through that karmic cycle in their lives. Because sometimes us as divine feminines, we are not putting out the effort to get them out of it. We are saying it's their job to get out. We are saying it's their responsibility. We are saying they are the ones who put themselves there, so they got to get themselves out. Look at it, divine feminine, if you think I'm lying. You are happy. You're living your life. You're becoming the empress, but they are still miserable. They are still hurting. They still don't know what love is. They still can't figure it out. They are still trapped in their karmic cycle. And that's because we as feminines are not doing enough to get them out. We're not remaining focused. We're still holding on to hurt and pain. That's why we got to learn to forgive and to forget and move on. And in my book, it shows you what it means to forgive and to forget and how you can forgive and also forget. It is so simple. Once you read it, you will understand. But if you're blocking your heart off and still saying it's their responsibility, there's no way you're going to see the truth. Love can blind you or it can uplift you. So yes, we have a choice. And there's only two choices, as I've said before. There's God's will and there's free will. And if you remember from my deck, let me find that card. From my deck, if you remember, what would free will do to you? It will F you up, my friends. Because there's only two will. Your will and God's will. So when you practice free will, you're turning from the path that God has for you. And that's how we get hurt. Because we want to do our own thing. And we are not relying on God to lead us. That's how we get hurt. That's how we get hurt. So choose the right will, God's will. And if you know somebody who is being abused, say something. You see something, say something. Don't sit and wait until they figure it out themselves, because maybe sometimes all they need is a little push to open their eyes so they can clearly see. If everybody on this earth was supposed to figure something out for themselves, there would never ever be teachers. Because who would you learn from? Who would guide you? Who would show you what to do? And while you're learning, you have the choice to take what you're learning or to figure out another way. You have your mind now to look and say, okay, that's right, that's not right, I like this, I don't like that, I agree with this, I don't agree with that. And that's how we learn. We learn from others, we learn from teachers. Jesus had to leave disciples, and those disciples taught other people. And those people became teachers to other people. That's how it works. I want you all to help others. We are light workers. We're light workers, and we should be shining our light. Not sitting back and waiting for somebody to figure something out themselves. When you try to help someone, when you try to make them see that what they're going through is not the right thing, you have done your part. But now if that person decides that what you're saying, they're not going to agree, they're going to continue to live the life the way they want to live, then it's their choice. And again, that's how we get hurt, because we don't listen. Take your shot. What's contradictory? Real Empress. Oh, I see. I see. You're talking amongst yourself. That's okay. But guys, I want to thank you all for being here today. And I hope you learned something from this. Because I can never be a light worker and sit back and allow someone to think that being abused is okay and someone abusing them is their twin flame. The twin flame experience is very common until you figure it out. Then you can know the difference between a regular relationship and a twin flame connection. So it can be mistaken for a regular relationship. And that's why this book is here. So you can determine what's a twin flame relationship and what's not. Because there are differences. And not just one point is going to make you a twin flame, and not one point is going to make it just a regular relationship. Once you read this book, you'll know if you're a twin flame. You'll know if you're not a twin flame. Because it's not just meeting your twin flame and the person run away from you makes them a twin flame. Because all of us go through hurt, all of us go through pain. And all of us get angry because the person that we met and we say, oh my God, I'm in love. And as a woman, I know because I say I found someone that I'm in love with. And then on the other hand, that person doesn't even feel the same. And then they walk away leaving me after a certain amount of time. And then I get angry at the person and I cuss them out. And I bawl like crazy. Because I thought I found the one. That's why we gotta stop lying to ourselves. You're welcome, Fluffy. We gotta stop lying to ourselves. We know that this person is not our twin flame, but we keep holding on to the person because we so want it to be a twin flame, because we are so in love. But there's a purpose with the twin flame connection. There's a mission. There is an end. Not that it's gonna finish, but a purpose. There's a purpose. There's a reason for the two of you coming together. And if you're not twin flames, it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same, guys. Please know the difference. Please know the difference. And whether a twin flame relationship or not, nobody is supposed to abuse you and you sit there and take it. And stop making excuses for them. I am doing it for the kids. I am staying for the kids. I tell you this already. Stop that shit. Stop that. I don't even want to say the word. If you really love your children and yourself, you will find a way to get out of that situation. And most of us, we're in countries where we are free. US has how many states? Canada has how many provinces? There are help hotlines. Find the right resources. Make your plans. As I said, make your plans. Don't open your mouth. You want to escape from somebody, don't be telling the person, I'm going to be leaving you tonight. You sit in silence in the hermit mode, the hangman mode. You figure things out. You make your plans. You call. You make plans. There are women shelters. And you pray to God about it. And when it's time to make your move, you make your move. US is a big old place. It's a big, big old place. Same as Canada. If I leave from Ontario right now, nobody knows where I will end up because it's so big. It's hard for others who are in circumstances where they cannot move. But make a plan. God will help you. God will show you what to do. Make a plan. And you keep your mouth shut. Sometimes you don't even tell your kids anything because children will say anything they don't understand. And when it's time to go, you go. When you stay in an abusive relationship and saying it's for the kids, what you're doing is actually teaching your children that abuse is acceptable. And you should remain in the situation that you are because it's comfortable. But please, don't teach your children to also accept abuse. And the men, don't you ever accept abuse from anybody, another woman or another man, because you're teaching your son, you're teaching your daughter that when somebody puts their hand on you, it's okay. Your son will grow up looking for their mother all the time. That's what happens. And they're going to find a woman that makes them feel small, that makes them feel like they're not a man, because that's what my daddy did. So that's the way I should do it. And your daughters, women, are going to find men like my daddy because my mother accepted abuse from my daddy. So that's the kind of man I want to be with. Because my mommy felt loved and my daddy felt loved and they were comfortable. Guys, please, children live what they learn and learn what they live. Let's break it off in the bud. Abuse is not acceptable. The divine masculines are no way, in any way, shape, or form abusive. And if they are abusive, then that means there's something deep within you that's abusive. And you got to break that cycle. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for being here. I do hope you've learned something. I do hope so. Keep trusting in God. Let go and let God, everybody. I love you all. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. And I'll see you again. I'll be doing the Aries reading a little bit later. So watch out for that, guys. Thank you all for being here. And I love you. And I will not stop fighting for you. I will not stop teaching you. And I will not stop putting out God's word for you. Because I will not give up on you. Take care of yourselves, everyone. I love you. Later.